Right now I'd like everybody to pick up this flyer off their seat. This is something really special that's coming up. And Jeff, I was wondering if you would run up the front here. This is a bit unplanned. But we've got a special guest speaker coming next week. Next Saturday, right here, Herb Montgomery from the United States is going to be here. And at 9:30, he's going to do his first presentation. And at then 10:45, he's going to do his second one. And what you can see on the sheet of paper there is he's really doing 3 different special talks. The first one's called Why God, Why? The second one's called Jesus for Skeptics, and that's going to be Monday to Friday night. So 5 talks, 5 nights at Addington Samoan Church. Where's that going to be? That's right. And then the following Saturday, it's going to be live streamed from Hornby back to here. So still come here, but we'll see Herb up on the screen, and it's kind of sharing the love around a bit to have him over live at Hornby. So Jeff, tell us a bit about Herb, because I know that you've been blessed by his ministry.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, plenty of warning.
Is that working? As a family, we've really been blessed by Herb's message. It was probably about 4 years ago, I think, that we first heard of him. It might have been more. My older sister in America had heard him, and she said, "Look, you've got to check out this guy." And so we got all his sermons, that Jesus dialogue that he'd taken in Hawaii, and he's not giving new doctrine or anything like that, but he's just really focusing on what Jesus, who he was, and the character, and how Jesus was basically God on earth. And those of us that were brought up Seventh-day Adventists around my era were brought up on it's how you behave that was important. But we know now that that's not correct, and it really helps people like me that have grown up with that concept to really understand that God isn't a tyrant just looking to see what we're doing wrong, and that he wants everybody in heaven with him, and it's our choice whether we want to or not. So it's got a real enlightening way of really bringing out just true love for each other, and to give us a real good indication of what God's character is really like, and how easy it is to make it. You know, it's not this huge battle where you're trying to do it all yourself. It's all been done, and he's got a real good way of putting that across.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's give Jeff a round of applause. It's 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, are those ones going to be taped?
Are we going to record the midweek ones? Yes, we will. Let's give our media team a round of applause. They work hard. So let me tell you about this. This is going to be good for people who don't go to church as well as people who do go to church. Look at the topics. Look at the next weekend. What's the topic of the first one? Why God, why? It's asking, if there is a God, and he's so loving, why does he allow this pain and suffering? Who doesn't want to know the answer to that question? Everybody's asking that question. So this is a great... I've specifically talked to Herb about these presentations. He's tailoring it so that it's going to be great for people who are believers and people who are not believers who are interested in God and this kind of stuff. So invite anyone and everyone. Then the midweek one, Jesus for Skeptics. Isn't that a great name for a series? And this is a shortened version of what Jeff was talking about, which is, he called it the Jesus dialogue, which is about 12 talks or something. This is 5 nights only. Jesus for Skeptics. Herb's got this great brain. He's very smart, but at the same time, he's very practical and relational. And so you're going to really enjoy listening to Herb. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of energy. I think what Jeff said is really true. It's really hard as a preacher or a teacher to convey that God's law really does matter, but you're not saved by keeping that law. What a confusing sort of a concept to try and explain. Herb's really good at it. And so he'll encourage you to understand Jesus' love, and so you start keeping God's law because you want to please God, but not because you feel like you're a slave having to earn that favor. And so, yes, the law matters, but no, it's not what gets you to heaven. It's just Jesus' love that gets you to heaven. Herb's the man to teach this in a real powerful way. So we've only given you this. You've got like 5 days, 7 days to invite your friends to come along. We've got one on every seat and then about another 100 out in the foyer. That's it. That's our big advertising campaign for this event. So it's really about you just inviting your friends along, and they're going to love it. All right, let's have our worship team come on up, and we're going to praise God some more this morning.